Welcome, welcome, welcome. Season 3, Wind Down with Kev. I am Kevin Spann, the insurance guru, and I am so excited today. This season, the hashtag has changed the narrative and party people in the place to be. Trust me, we are going to change the narrative on this one. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Welcome to another episode of Wind Down with Kev. I am Kevin Spann, the insurance guru. By day, I sell insurance. By night, I turn to the host of my podcast. And today, I am amped. I'm excited. I got my man, Drew, here from Bolden, Mack. Drew, talk to the people. Tell them your name. Give them your government, the whole thing. Let's talk about it.
Mr. Spann, man, again, thank you for having me, man. I'm Ayodeji, man, the founder of the Bolden Mack Park Foundation. We going into our 6th year. We got the Bolden Mack Park flagship store, 233 Broadway, Amityville, New York. So y'all come tap in with us, come shop with us, man. So again, Mr. Spann, I appreciate you having me. I'm looking forward to the interview.
No stress. I'm happy to be here. You rocking that Amityville gray and red out of respect for the other Warriors, out of respect for the 11701. I came in my red. I got on the gray slacks, which you can't see. But out of respect for Amityville, so much love, so much respect. Amityville Warrior here, Wyandanch Warrior here. Today we are together. So people, the first thing I got to tell you about my young brother to my right. He was here on time 15 minutes early. I'm late for work. These sessions start at 10:30. I'm usually here at 9:30, 10 o'clock. He's calling me at 10 after 10. Mr. Spann. I said, what's good, Drew? You on your way? He said, nah, I'm in the building. I said, my bad for being late to work. So let's talk about being on time. Is that you? Is that Drew? You always on time?
Now I am. I gotta credit that Coach Malcolm Montgomery in Tennessee.
Okay.
When I was down there in community college, he if you was late, he ain't want you to come at all.
Okay.
At all. He ain't want you to be there at all.
Shout out to Coach Malcolm Montgomery. And what was Coach's definition of being on time?
His definition of being on time was like 10, 15 minutes early.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. For everybody out there, I've said that to you many times. If you're not 15 minutes early, you are late. So my humble apologies to you for being late. So you gotta be there. People, y'all are watching Drew. It goes without saying what he's doing, what he's done this summer, all of the business that he's put together. We're going to talk about Bolden Mack. We're going to talk about the retail and all that. But you don't get this done if you don't get that first part right of being on time, because I see you in a lot of meetings. But, Drew, I want to go backwards before I go forward. Mm-hmm. Pronounce your last name one more time for me and tell me the origin of your last name.
My last name is Ayodeji. That means my joy doubled. It's a Nigerian last name, Lagos. My dad was Nigerian. He came here from Africa.
Beautiful, beautiful. Your dad, first generation from Africa?
Yeah, first generation from Africa.
And Ayodeji, did I say that right?
Ayodeji.
Ayodeji. I must give the proper respect to the name. And once again, it means?
My joy doubled.
My joy doubled. My joy is definitely doubled to have you here today. My selection process for choosing my guests for the show, I'm looking for people that's first, only, and different, real FODs in the community. And you are definitely an FOD. And not only you're an FOD, you're my MVP of the summer of 2021, because you did so much with Bolden Mack this summer, coming off of COVID last year when we couldn't do a lot in the community. But you did your thing. So talk about what it was to get it started right away with Bolden Mack to get the ball rolling again.
It never really stopped, man. The pandemic, I just looked at it as just like I had to pivot. And that's when the merchandise really kind of came into play. So I was nonstop the whole pandemic. I never stopped. I was doing little podcast interviews like this online with all of the local talent. I was out pushing merchandise through the pandemic. I had a little blog called Pushing Fire Through the Pandemic, where I was giving out the Bolden Mack Park merch. So I never stopped. Like the pandemic was like a plandemic for me. I used that as like a cheating kind of thing. Like I got ahead with that, I feel like.
Put a quote right there. The pandemic was a plandemic. It was a plandemic for you, and you put a plan into effect. You put your head down and you did your work. So, Drew, a lot of my audience is not necessarily a basketball audience, it's not necessarily a local audience. I have people that watch this from near and far, from Chicago, from the season I lived out there. Obviously, my son Kevin's in Cali. So for those that are across this big nation that don't know what Bolden Mack is, tell them what the Mack is. Tell them what we represent. And by the way, not only show up early, he showed up with gifts. He blessed me with the nice Mack hat. He blessed me with the black and gray hoodie, to match. So
I got him these is the 5 trophy, the year 5 edition short.
Wow.
He asked us about, what Bolden Mack Park is. So this kind of give you a little brief synopsis of what Bolden Mack Park is right here through these shorts. It's like a storyline.
I love it. I love it.
Those is for you right there.
I love it. I will be rocking it. Yes, I will.
I brought you these 2. These are the Just Dawn inspired shorts. They heavy like a real game.
Yes, sir.
Game pair basketball shorts. So you can check those out.
Woo! You're gonna make me get undressed and take a ball out and go to work here. There's levels to this. This is just love and respect. If you don't know anything about this young man so far, know that he handles his business. He came here. He was early. He came bearing gifts. And let me jump in and lead you in a little bit. So the first pair of shorts, it kind of breaks down a little bit of basketball history. So I'll go from memory, and you pick me up where I miss off. Mm-hmm. You say Harlem got the Rucker.
Yep.
And everybody knows Rucker Park in Harlem.
Legendary.
Basketball, the movie Above the Rim. That's what that life is all about. What's next?
You got Lincoln got Queens.
Lincoln got Queens. A lot of tournaments in Lincoln Park. Every AAU program, Long Island, Queens, Brooklyn.
Historically, too, it was an adult tournament before, but now they just switched to strictly high school. But that was a legendary tournament years ago.
Yes, it was.
Lincoln Park in Queens. Then you got Gershwin Park in Brooklyn.
Gershwin Park in Brooklyn. Let's talk about it. What's Gershwin known for?
They known for the grittiness. They got a real good tournament as well. It's been around for some time. All of these tournaments that we speaking about, Rucker been around for years and years, but everybody else that we talk about been in the business for 20 plus years. So these is dudes that I'm kind of taking notes from without them even knowing I'm watching them. So we talk about Gersh Park, that's in Brooklyn. A lot of basketball players came from there.
Of course, you already know.
We go to Uptown, got Dykeman. That's
yes,
like
sir.
They call that the red carpet of street ball right now. So Ken Stevens is doing an amazing job. I'm watching him too. He probably don't even know that I'm paying attention to him.
Ken Stevens,
so.
we watching you. And some of these games, I'm not a video dude, but some of these places, I know that Rutgers is on like the PlayStation game, so they legit. So let's fast forward to the future. Let's talk about now. Bolden Mack, we're in what year? We're in year 6? We're kicking off year 6?
Yeah, we're going into year 6 now. We just finished year 5.
Yes, sir.
We won a championship. The home team is staying in Amityville.
Okay.
So, shout out to us. Shout out to Team Buck, man. It was major. It was a hectic summer, man. From week 1, it was a brawl. So we excited going into this year. We got a lot going on.
Well, you definitely brought out the big guns this summer. You brought out the Jelly Fam.
Yeah, definitely.
You didn't play.
Yeah.
Now let me ask a question I already know the answer to. Who was the champs last year?
The champs last year was Wyandanch.
Say that.
It was Wyandanch. I give it. Listen, man. That's a game that I explain to them when they say, "Yo, Drew, why you going so hard for these games?" Because that's a game that could go either way, regardless of who's on the court. The adrenaline of those games is just crazy. So shout out to Wyandanch too, man. CJ, Thomas Beverly, Kevin Little, man.
Family.
It's family, man. It's bigger than basketball. We do this thing for unity in our community, man. Everybody come together. We eat together, we play ball together, and we talk about this all year, man. So shout out to them, man. This game, brings the community together.
So Drew, and that's what I love. The Amityville Wyandanch competition is healthy. I go back to the beginning of this thing. The biggest 4 events in my youth, growing up in Wyandanch, 70s, 80s, and forward, was always Wyandanch versus Amityville. When we come to see y'all, I was always there in that school. I'm not going to describe it. I'm not going to say nothing bad about it. And then always when y'all came to us. So I'm rich in my knowledge of Amityville history basketball players. My brother-in-law is one of the greatest Amityville legends that you probably don't know. So I'm going to say his name. might be one of the few people that ever averaged a triple-double in high school. Familiar with Jeff Williams?
Jeff Williams. He was a guard?
Guard, 6'4"
Yeah,
guard.
I know who Jeff Williams is.
Jeff Williams.
Yeah.
That's my brother-in-law. So shout out to Jeff. Jeff was the inspiration for many great Amityville players that came behind him. So we're gonna play a little game. I'm gonna say a name and you just react to it and tell me what your thoughts are about this person. So let's go back to after Jeff Williams. The next Amityville great was Shelton Jones.
Right. He was our first McDonald's All-American. He came out in 1983. Those was like the last greats for our legendary coach Fred Williams that passed away. God bless the dead.
Rest in peace, Coach Williams. So shout out to Sheldon. Next great Amityville player I'm going to shout out. Just react when I say his name. Mike James.
Mike James, Dog, Warrior, Bolden Mack Park. They got the courts named after him there. And he took the hard way. You know what I'm saying? He went to prep school, went to Duquesne, went overseas, grinded. Pat Riley loved him, said that was one of the hardest workers that he ever, came across. And I feel like he overachieved.
Oh my God! Straight from Amityville, straight from Bolden Mack, his practice ground to the NBA champion, and very much a community guy, just like you.
Definitely. He kind of paved the way. Me seeing him do that in the park, seeing guys like Sweets do that in the park, made me, able to do what I was able to do.
Okay, now I'm going to name two players because these two Amityville players that I'm going to name, for all y'all LeBron James fans out there, these two players are from one of the only three teams, basketball historians, forgive me if I get this wrong, but in LeBron James' 4-year high school career, I think he only lost 3 games, and one of those games was to the Amityville Warriors, and two of the players on that team, the two senior stars of that team, Jason Frazier and Tristan Smith.
Tristan wasn't on that team when they played LeBron.
Okay.
He wasn't on that team. He just had graduated. That was Jason's senior year, and that was AJ's sophomore year.
Okay.
So, but speaking of those dudes, two outstanding individuals. Jason Frazier's actually on our board for Bolden Mack basketball. And, Tristan Smith, another Amityville great. He went to St. John's right up out of there. They paved the way. The non-league schedules that they was playing was just ridiculous. I remember Grady coming out here. I remember going to play Rice High School, St. Raymond's. They going to Delaware. That's where they played LeBron James down at the Slam Dunk to the Beach. So, it's definitely a real rich basketball, history there in Amityville.
Definitely. Shout out to Jason, just one of my favorite people in the world. Jay Frey, you already know that. Tristan Smith, two-sport athlete, dominated on the court, dominated on the football field. So since I missed it a year, I got to add to the members, other people that was on the team. You had Richie Payton was just a defensive problem, and then you had another pro on that team, none other than AJ Price.
Yeah, the goods, man. I feel like AJ was a dude that kind of paved the way for Long Island per se, not just Amityville, because he was like really killing out there on the circuit. We would go to ISA, and he was like the man out there. I think he kind of opened the door for it been stars in Amityville, but he opened the door for people to look at like, yo, it's really killers out there. Like it's dudes that could really like go. So again, man, it's just a blessing to be from there, and it's a blessing to even come up behind players like that of that caliber that brought that type of attitude to the game. Like I played JUCO basketball in Tennessee, then I played NAIA basketball in Tennessee, and you just see the approach to the game that them dudes brought was just, you don't see this anywhere in the world. So just to have that come from a little place like that is crazy.
It means everything. So let's talk about your walk. I'll leave my Amityville history alone, and let's dial forward to Drew, because there's more kids out there like you than there are the McDonald's All-Americans and those that are going to go college and go pro. My first time I remember seeing you working on your game, you were in Jerry's gym, just going hard. And Jerry was being Jerry, and you was listening to Jerry, but you was putting in the work. So talk about your path. Talk about when you first picked the ball up and how you played in school and that whole JUCO path of.
I was like I came on the scene kind of late, you would say, as far as like organized basketball. I never really got a chance to get on like a solid AAU team or anything like that. But what I did see was those dudes that I named before me, and I seen the work that they put in. So I felt like that was a little advantage for me, was to get in there with Ice and really lock in. When I tell you I locked in with Ice, I locked in with Ice. So my game from a 10th grader to a 11th grader was like here.
Yeah.
So I felt like I took advantage of that, and it earned me a scholarship my senior year to a Division I junior college. Shout out Jay Joyner from Amityville, another
Jay Joyner,
alumni. He pulled the trigger on that situation and got me down there to Tennessee. And when I got down to Tennessee, I played really well as well. I locked in with Jerry. I was coming home, basically living in the annex. So I earned another scholarship to Cumberland University, where I played for Coach Lonnie Thompson. He was a very high disciplinary coach, you know what I'm saying? Being on time, just being respectful, you know what I'm saying? And being respectful to people, for that matter. And I learned life lessons that I was able to come back and bring back here to Amityville, bring back here to Long Island.
And I love your path, because you were putting in the work with Jerry, and when you mentioned your JUCO coach and when you mentioned your 4-year coach, both times you mentioned the business of basketball. And fast forward to today, you're still getting up shots. I think you worked out with Jerry this morning.
Definitely.
Okay.
It's my second day in a row now, so
yeah,
I'm locked in, man. I got a goal that I'm looking forward to this April, so we locked in.
Okay, and since you didn't speak on it, it will go unspoken. We'll just leave that alone.
Yeah,
that's not for the live. That's not for the podcast. When it happens in April, recognize you'll know that Drew is working. So, Drew, one thing about me, I love the game of basketball. I'm not a has-been. I'm a never was. I'm that guy that tried out for the team every year, ran down to the gym and see if his name was on the list, and it wasn't. then we look forward to next year, and we did it again. But I love the business of basketball. I've been blessed to have 3 sons that enjoyed the game and played at a decent level, and I've coached the game a lot. But today, I love the business of basketball, and you and I have a business partner in common. I'm just starting to work with the Long Island Nets. You've been working with them for a minute. So let's talk about the business of basketball and what that partnership means to you.
Yeah, shout out Long Island Nets too. Alton Bird, Wade Richards, Montana Tyrus, the whole team over there, man. They really amazing. They really big on community and really pushing the culture forward out here in Long Island, and connecting with community leaders like yourself. So shout out to them, man. They doing an amazing
Much
job
respect,
out here.
Long Island Nets and everybody associated.
I just think the business side, needs to be shined upon more, because that's just a way for dudes to pivot that still love basketball. Like, I love what I do now. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, what people say, it's not a job when you're waking up doing what you love. Like, I love putting on the tournaments. I love doing the little camps. I love putting on the little one-days. I love talking basketball. I love arguing with people down about basketball. So it's like I'm really enjoying myself doing this. So the business aspect is just a pivot. There's plenty of things you could do. You could go into the corporate side of things like Wade did and Alton did, and really, have a lucrative income off of that. You could kind of go into the analytics of it and speak about basketball. We do this all day, not knowing that we do it. So, and there'd be a lot of people that, probably could go debate Steve Smith or Skip Bayless or some of them out here.
It's like easy. So if you look what's in front of you, there's no notes.
Yeah.
There's no notes. We're not reading off the script. We just having a conversation from what's in our heart and just from our love of the game. And basketball is a business. It's a multi-billion-dollar business. We don't have to have all of it, but it's nice to be able to do what we love for a living, or even associate with something you enjoy, and it does not feel like work. So we was talking Amityville, Wyandanch. I'm a Wyandanch alumni. You're Amityville alumni, but you spent a lot of time in Wyandanch in that youth center working with the kids right there.
Yeah, I grew up in Wyandanch as well. My Uncle Lenny lived out there, so he brought me out there as a youth to play football. I played for Coach Pee Wee. I played for Coach D. So they kind of brought me up playing football as well. So it was kind of like the best of both worlds. And it's like that anyway. If you from Amityville,
to
you got
this
a cousin
day,
in Wyandanch.
to this day,
Wyandanch, you got a cousin in Amityville. So, it's 2 neighboring towns, and, it kind of go hand in hand. We fighting the same struggle. So, I'm passionate about the youth center down there. Shout out Miss Janine Reynolds.
Yes.
Shout out the youth borough, Claire McKeon, that got me down there. Shout out to Rob. We putting together a basketball
thing. Let's go, Rob. What's good, nephew?
Yeah, I'm helping him out with it. He putting it together. Mondays and Wednesdays for the kids. So it's just all about giving them the opportunity, man, being who I needed when I was younger for these kids.
So Drew, this is a beautiful thing. I think I said this already. It's okay if I repeat myself. You are my MVP of the summer of 2021 because you kept not only so many youth busy with basketball, but you kept our adult men busy with basketball. So this basketball story for us, oftentimes it ends that last game in high school. For some, that last game in middle school, you're a killer, but high school takes you on another path. Some that stay on the basketball path through college and various means to get through school. But many of our young men that don't have that path, once that hoop dream is done at 18, 19, whatever it ends, they really don't have a whole lot to look forward to.
Right.
To me, one of the reasons why I wanted to rock with you and sponsor the Mack is because you're giving those young men that's still in the neighborhood something to look forward to. You're giving them a reason to work out and to stay in shape because you can't be out there any kind of way. If I'm yelling at kids and saying, you could have did it like I mean, or I would have did this, I would have did that. If I still get out there and I don't have it, I got to back that up, and we're doing it peacefully. So talk about what that means for all the young men that no question, they elite players, both towns, other towns, Nassau, Suffolk, Queens, Brooklyn that's coming out to play. What do it mean to you to see our 25 and our 30 years old out there balling hard?
That means a lot as well because it's showing, that we tapped in. You know what I'm saying? A lot of the 25 to 30-year-olds are just kind of caught up living in their life. I feel like this is giving them something to prepare for, giving them something to look forward to. So, it's a blessing when you look at it from just the youth that we got involved all the way to the adults, man. We tapped in for 8 weeks. So it's good, man. It's good. It's a blessing to see.
It's a blessing, and the energy is insane. I think I only caught one game this summer. I came and catch one game, went to see my cousin, Kevin Little. Wanted to see him play. He was putting up major numbers. So I got to see that. And the energy in the park is beyond. So if you like positivity, if you like big crowds, if you like that energy, that feel for being at a game, the Mack is the place to be. So Drew, my theme for this season, my season 3 Wind Down with Kev podcast is hashtag change the narrative. The narrative in our community for a long time is once you're done with school, you finish. Now you're a barbershop legend. Okay? Why didn't you just let it stay there? Why'd you breathe life back into young brothers, and what did you see that said, we can keep playing, we can keep doing this?
Because I just didn't really want to be regarded as that. You know what I'm saying? Like, I didn't want to be regarded as just like somebody that just came back and got caught up in the same stuff. I kind of got mixed up into the wrong things. So, it was just the grace of God that, certain people came into my life that kind of steered me in the right direction. I never was stupid. You know what I'm saying? So I always knew, right from wrong, and I always knew that, I had a vision. And, I was blessed with that. A lot of people can't really see that far, so they make short-term decisions, and those short-term decisions sometimes affect their whole entire life. You know what I'm saying? It changes the trajectory on their whole life, whether it's 10 years in jail, 5 years in jail, sometimes dead, sometimes getting hooked on the wrong thing. So, it's a will that, we face in our community. And I just felt like me being at the age that I was in and me having a platform, seeing that this, this basketball is attracting these communities like that. It's attracting these young kids. It's attracting these adults. It's attracting older women. It's attracting senior citizens, literally. So, I felt like it was only right for me to, like, really give the best version of myself as far as, like, positivity, showing the youth in the community that they could pivot. You don't got to, sell this to get that. It's the same type of process of selling drugs as the selling T-shirts. You know what I'm saying?
So I got that is what you said right there is the most positive thing in the world. In our community, people are introduced to selling certain things because it's easy and it's accessible. No different than buying 12 candy bars from BJ's. Selling T-shirts is the same thing. Selling hats and selling hoodies is the same thing. You just have to learn the process. How did you learn the process? What did you go through to make that association that retail sales is retail sales? How did you pivot?
Just seeing businesses work. Seeing like, this is the exact same thing, supply and demand. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
And, better the product that you have, the better the customers are gonna be. So I really take pride in my product, as you see. Like,
Yes.
you could wash these hoodies, you
Yes.
could wash the T-shirts.
Yes.
It's never gonna fall off. You could wear these hats. It's never gonna fall off. I just got done working out, so it's quality that you know, I pride myself on with business, and just moving with high morals and integrity with it. You know, standing on that brand of the Mack, because it was you know, established long before me, long before it was even a basketball brand. It was people that was in the park and the community, you know, bringing the community together, a place for us to just, you know, fellowship and eat and drink and just have a good time over the summertime, listen to music. So, you know, I feel blessed, highly blessed to be even be able to be in that position to, you know, do that for my community and everybody around it.
You doing everything, and you saying everything, and you said a buzzword that I'm glad you brought it up because it means to me. You mentioned a brand, and one of the things I've seen you post about is that we're not in the buying brands, we're in the building brand. So what is your brand? How would you define the brand?
My brand is an empire, because like if one thing, you know, shut off, is another thing that I could lean on. So like the pandemic, we shut off as far as the mainstream of the tournament. So we had to pivot into clothes. Right now we pivoting into the holiday tournaments. Every holiday tournament we doing a community give back. So November we got our Thanksgiving tournament. November 24th we doing our community feast at the firehouse. We're gonna give out turkeys. Christmas time we doing our Christmas tournament. We giving out toys. We're gonna do a Christmas tournament at the same time. March we doing our March Madness. Black History we doing our Black History Month tournament. April, May, we going to our banquet. June is Welcome to the Mack, and it's the same thing over and over.
I'm smiling so hard, people. You know, where we're from, we're not supposed to smile and cheese that much, but when my heart is happy, I can't pretend to be a gangster or anything else. I'm happy from a business and a personal standpoint because of the business tools that you're using and the acumen that you speak with. The most important thing in business is the calendar. It's the calendar. You when you put something down on the calendar and you say you're going to do it, do that.
Absolutely.
Don't do something different. So you just laid out the next 6 to 9 months for me, and there's something on purpose happening, and it's not just fun. These give backs are real. You just partnered with Divine Smith and Diverse Skills Training, and y'all just did a nice giveaway with the back to school stuff.
Right. I really necessarily didn't partner with him. I supported the event. I wasn't around for the event. Big shout out to Divine Smith, Millie Smith, KY. They do this event every year where they come into the park and they give the community sneakers and book bags and different things to go back to school. But shout out to them. That definitely was a dope event. But it's just very important to tap into the community and just give them resources back. If you getting information and you getting more knowledge and you're not really bringing it back to the people, I feel like it's like senseless. So everything that I'm doing and everything that I'm learning, I'm bringing it, you know, back down to my peoples.
So I'll share, and I love what you're doing. I'll share a jewel. Pass on before you pass on. Pass on the knowledge that you have. Pass on the experience that you have before you pass on. That's one of the reasons I do this. I have information I want to share. You have information that I want people to hear from you that they want to share so that next person gets motivated and gets inspired. So we talked about your brand. I love what it stands for. My brand is family, community, and relationships. Family, community, and relationships. So what you're doing, some people ask me, Kev, why'd you support Bolden Mack? Why didn't you do this, my cause, that cause? Because Bolden Mack stands for something very specific. It stands for family. It stands for community. It stands for relationship. And when your brand lines with my brand, just like with the Long Island Nets, then I'm with you. If you have a brand that today is this, and the next time I see you is something different, that doesn't align. So my brand is associated. I think as a representative of Allstate Insurance Company, a Fortune 500 company, I think like Coca-Cola. I think like McDonald's. I think like big companies, and they only sponsor people that project a certain image, because if that image goes left, the brand goes left with it. So keep representing your brand, because I'm not the only corporate person that's watching you. Talk to the other business owners that's out there that's not involved in the community about how they can help and why they should be involved in the community.
And shout out to Kevin Spann again, man. He was a major sponsor for us this summer. He had the biggest sponsorship that you could possibly have in our package. He came to our banquet, and it was love, man. I really, really, really appreciate that. And like he said, your partners, you kind of want them just to align with your brand. And you know, he's like he said, he wasn't a basketball player, but they come from like a basketball family, and they're surrounded by basketball, and he's surrounded by community. So I felt that was very important to collab, and I was grateful for that. But what was the question again, Mr. Spann? I'm sorry, I got
no stress at all. I was talking about other businesses. Like there's other businesses out there. We spend a lot of money in this small town of Babylon, in the hamlet of Amityville, the hamlet of Wyandanch. We spend a lot of money in businesses. How can other businesses get involved?
Really social media awareness. I feel like because I post everything on social media. And you know, whoever want to be involved, whoever want to support, however I could support other people, I'm willing to you know, support. You know, I'm open. I'm saying everything. I'm open to everything. So however we could collab, you know, community leaders from across the board, let's collab, man. Not just basketball. Again, my civic association, which we spoke about earlier, that I co-founded with my partner Danny Lloyd, Minority Millennials. You know, we just looking to collab, man, looking to bridge the gap between policy and culture. We bringing these political influences actually into the community, making our community aware of these, you know, political candidates that's being put into place, and also re-educating the community on politics, because I feel like, you know, it's just a major lane that, you know, we're just not keen on. And if we was keen on that, I feel like we would be operating in a different way. And that's another thing about changing the narrative as well. Back in 2017 or 2018, I think it was, I ran for the school board in
Yes,
Amityville.
I want you to bring that up. Talk about that.
I ran for the school board more so to really change the narrative, for people to see like, yo, it's people like us that really care. And it was interesting once you kind of get into it. Like, a lot of these things are just taboo because we don't really speak about them in our community, as far as a school board election or running on the school board or knowing even what a school board is about, for that matter. So it was a real good learning experience. I seen the property tax money that we're spending is going directly into the school board. This is, you know, they're in charge of hiring and firing. They bring our cooking ladies in. They bring our janitors in. They bring our teachers in.
Control a lot of the school board in small towns, Long Island in particular, controls a lot of revenue, and that influence. All politics is local, so I was proud of you for running for the board. That was one thing, and I was watching, supporting you from a distance, watching you posting. But the biggest thing I saw in that process was how you lost with dignity. Tell me who won, and do you remember about posting about congratulating the person?
Yeah, definitely. I remember that. Anytime I lost, I remember that. So it didn't even sit well with me. But you know, I had to be graceful in defeat. Shout out to Laura McVitie. She won. It was some controversy with that, but she won, and you know, that's what happened with that whole situation. But I just wanted you know, the people to know that I was really for the community. You know what I'm saying? And I felt like that post just, you know, congratulating her and sending love to her family, because it was a lot of, you know, pettiness that was going on with a lot of that. It was a bunch of stuff. So
politics would take you a place you don't want to go. But one of the lessons of basketball is at the end of the game, I win, you win. We shake hands and we play again. Politics and business could be the same way. You know, we don't have to go crazy. We don't have to box. We don't have to choke each other out. It's just business. We move on to the next thing. So Drew, I remember a few years ago at Wyandanch Day, we're in the middle of it. I think it was 2018. It was our biggest crowd. I think we had about 5,000 people in the park. We had all the hip-hop pioneers was home. And you approached me in the middle of it and said, you know, nice job, Ms. Spann. That's exactly what I'm trying to do in Amityville with Bolden Mack. And fast forward, we here. We here, you know. So just love and respect for everything you're doing. But I want to come back to minority millennials, the political side. So people pay attention to the pivots. It's more than his 3-point stance. It's more than his pull-up jump shot. It's more than the speed. It's more than the D. This pivoting in business is a real thing. So you're in basketball. You're on the court. You're in basketball in the community, not only with the youth, but also with our adults who really, really need this. You're not talking politics. You're not out here just posting, I'm against this or this matters. You're doing stuff. You put yourself on Front Street. You ran for the board. Even before I pivot, what did you learn from that process of running?
The biggest thing that I learned was that like you can't take no time for granted at all. Like I could have hit a lot more doors in that process. I felt like I didn't know as I didn't know it was as deep as that it was then. So I felt like the biggest thing I learned was just really getting out there early and not wasting any type of time. I felt like if I would have been on doors for maybe 4 or 5 hours a day, like if some people do run their campaigns like that, I believe I would have definitely won by a larger portion than I lost by. You know what I'm saying? So
It's so everybody that's on Drew's live right now, politics is money, and whenever money is involved, people go harder. And the money is not cash, it's votes.
Right.
So we need all y'all young people that's on this podcast that rock with Drew and Bolden Mack. We need y'all to register to vote, not because Drew is going to run again, because whoever wins, they need to know that you're real. We get excited about Obama. We get excited about the next candidate, whether you like them or dislike them. But all politics are local. And that school board is controlling major finances in every community, and you want to be involved. So I come from a place and a mindset that says don't talk about it, be about it, and you'll definitely be about it. So, Drew, you did one of the biggest civic thing I saw you do this summer. It was an idea I had in the back of my head when I was still involved with being one of the leaders of Wyandanch Day. I always wanted to have a police and community basketball game because I think it's the biggest fundraising idea, and I think it's the biggest way to bring those two things together. But you did it better, and you acted on it with me with this pickup game with the police and the community a few weeks ago. Let's talk about how that came about, how it went down, and how you felt about it.
I felt real good about it, and it wasn't really a blown up thing. We really wanted to get the pickup game off the ground, and it kind of was a little bit better because it was a little bit more intimate. We kind of got a chance to build with the officers a little bit more. Shout out Deputy Police Commissioner Risco Lewis.
Hey, Risco.
It was her idea, and she came out and got a chance to meet the community. The commissioner, Officer Scott Cameron, I believe his name is. He came out and got a chance to meet the community, and it's just for me, it's more so to bridge that gap, and for our people to look at the police as more of a job employment than anything. You know what I'm saying? Because if we don't really got a seat at the table, we really can't, battle back and forth.
And you don't want it to be a battle back and forth. You want it to be a partnership. So shout out to Suffolk County Police Department for everything that you do. My best friend is both Amityville and Wyandanch like you. He passed away in 2017. Shout out to Ted Walker, detective at Suffolk County Police Department. So I'm all about youth choosing that career path, and I'm all about the partnership with the community so that, God forbid, if a young man or a young woman goes wrong, they don't see 5-0. They see a very specific officer, and the officer sees them, and it's instead of being threatened by, it's like, Drew, you're a ball player, Drew.
Yeah, it's a
why you here at 2 o'clock in the morning? My bad, Officer Spann. I'm just grabbing some medicine. I'm home. That's the outcome of this. But let's have fun. All I ever did was play a whole lot of pickup basketball, and from what I know from my pickup games, we shoot for captains and we choose team based on the park. Is that how this went down? Did we shoot for captains and some police were on some team? And
yeah, it was like that. We have Brian Ellis out there. Brian Ellis
Okay.
is a Bayshore legend.
Bayshore legend,
Bayshore
SAT
legend.
prep coach, killed it on the court. Now he's helping people academically. Let's go, Brian.
Yeah, so he kind of picked the teams up, and it was mixed in. It was some community guys with the cops, then there was some other community guys with the cops. So it was good, man. It was a good game. Shout out to Janelle from Wyandanch. He brought his youth warriors out. We ended up winning again. So it was a good thing, man. Shout out Jordan. Shout out Jeremiah. Shout out everybody at Spin the Yard that got him down there.
Family.
It was a good thing. Like he said, man, family. We in this thing together.
We're in this thing together. That's a beautiful thing for us to play with the cops and to build that relationship. So when something goes left, we reference each other by name, and we don't have that fear factor that we have sometime in the community, and we don't personalize things that are like things that happen nationally that we never want to take place here. And how do you avoid it? We build a relationship before then. Absolutely. You build a bridge before you need it, so you don't have to swim in the ocean by yourself. So We dug into everything. The only thing we really didn't dig into is minority millennials and your partner, your man, Danny Lloyd, and some of the things y'all have done. Also, on the political side, partner with the Suffolk County Police Department. Y'all had a voice in when they were looking at how to add more officers to it. So let's talk about that.
The police reform. I believe. Don't quote me because I've been getting into trouble saying these things on these shows, but it's one of the top leading causes of death in America for young black men.
Okay.
Police violence. So when they made this police task force to kind of address these things and present this plan to the governor, it was nobody that was under the age of 35 and that was black on the thing. So we was outraged by that. So we sent a few emails. We didn't really get the response that we wanted to get. So we had to kind of address the thing publicly, and that changed. And we got Dan on the task force for police reform, and they made some progress. Still some things that we would like to see, but it was some progress. And shout out to everybody that was on there. Shout out Vanessa Streeter.
Yes,
Miss Vanessa Streeter is amazing, man. She's been very helpful with Bolden Mack Park, just leading us in the right direction. Linking us with the PAL, linking us with the police situation. So shout out to her, man. She's been frontlining with us this year, major. And I'm just very appreciative of everybody. Like you said, it's a family thing, it's a community thing, and we just all tapped in, and man, we looking forward to continue to grow this thing and continue to grow as a community.
Absolutely. So for everybody, if you haven't been to a Mack game, if you're not following Bolden Mack right now and you're in my audience, follow them. They're doing beautiful things. Business owners, if you're not involved yet, get involved. Get involved. I'd be a poor host if I didn't come back to mention the store and the way you're running that retail operation. Say the address and location of the store again.
233 Broadway, Amityville Village.
Okay. What I like about that, as the owner and operator of a retail insurance office, you're running your retail off of a different formula that I haven't seen. First off, the layout. People, visit his page and look at this layout. It's not just a store, it's an experience.
Yeah, it's a flagship. It's the flagship store. So when you get there, you're just going to get the whole Bolden Mack experience. We got a lot of Long Island nostalgia in there. You're going to see a lot of, autographed jerseys from a couple of Long Island legends. We got some Dr. J memorabilia in there. Our magazine that was supposed to come out last year, but it was kind of affected by COVID. We blew up a picture and put the frame that in the store. Shout out to Jordan Riley, Georgetown.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
It's a blessing again, like I said, man, and it's a whole experience. The flagship location. You guys come out, man. We got sweatsuits in, we got hats in, we got bags, we got shorts still. We got a blowout sale on the shorts. The website gonna be done soon. Black Friday, we gonna be online working. So tap in, man. Welcome to the Mack.
I love that. That's going to be online. Amityville and Long Island, we have big crowds of people from around the country. They want these hats. They want these shirts. They want the shorts. They want everything. And as soon as it's there, it's going to jump off the page. I grew up going to Amityville Day and Wyandanch Day. Amityville Day was always the first Saturday in June. Wyandanch Day is always the second Saturday in June. It's something you may or may not know. Did you know that to this year that there's still Amityville Day held in Atlanta?
Yeah, they do that out there. Yeah. This is like they maybe 7th year, I think, doing it out there.
Yeah.
It's a lot of Amityville people in Atlanta. Like, people say they go down there, it's like a little Amityville.
Yes.
It's crazy.
Big time, and some big time former players that are down there as well. So definitely support everything. You said it's the flagship store, so business terms, that mean that there's more to follow. Mm-hmm. I had a chance this summer visiting my oldest son, Kevin, as you know, in California with my 2 younger sons, and we went to Cool Kicks in Cali. And that's a place that people go just to look at the kicks because it's an experience. Mm-hmm. I see Bolden Mack being an experience that people should have whenever they're passing through New York. Not only should you come see a game, but you should pass through the store and have that experience and take the pics that you do with everybody for proof positive that you was there.
Nah, definitely. And that's pretty much what been happening, man. We've been getting a lot of people that's, just out of state now, and they just excited to come back, you know what I'm saying, and check out the store. Like I said, it's a lot of nostalgia in there, so it's pictures that they'll see from the neighborhood that they might have been in the picture when they was younger. They running into people from the community that they ain't seen in a long time. It's a real community thing, man. Anytime you come in there, you're going to see somebody in there that you know. So and we tapped into the youth. We had the youth working with us and all of that. So it's a good thing, man. It's like, again, like I said, it's a blessing.
You mentioned, you posted recently, you mentioned UNAO. What did that organization, that gym, mean to you growing up?
UNAO was major. Like I told you, I played football for Wyandanch youth leagues, but God bless the dead, John DePass.
Yes.
Once I got of age, he started that. Like, he was like one of the, I don't want to say founders, but he was like one of the people that was on top of the UNAO thing as far as like grassroots, getting all of the kids there to play basketball, getting all of the kids there to play football. He put that together. Coach Percy, Coach Simpkins, and all of them was down there. So that was another good, like, foundation. That was kind of like a launch pad for us, for our youth, that we was there, because they had classes, we had Black History, we had it was a bunch of things that we would do as kids there. So that was a real good experience.
No, that's definitely was a great experience, because UNAO grew out of the original Amityville Youth Center on Commerce Boulevard across the street from the Mack, and then that was built, and I think that was game changing. You guys having that youth basketball experience, which propelled you and made you better for getting ready for high school and everything else. An early start and a fast start means a lot. Drew, we dug in here. I think I helped the people to get to know you a little bit, to get to know your drive a little bit. I hope people on the live is enjoying the back and flow of forth of the questions. What didn't I ask you about? What's coming up next for Drew, and what's coming up for Mack that the people should know about?
The 24th, we having that Thanksgiving feast at North Amityville Firehouse. I'm going to have a promo on that. So I'm going to be reaching out to a lot of the mothers out there, a lot of, the ladies that cook to come tap in. Mama Yo, I'm going to be reaching out to you. So it's going to be a community thing. We're going to be giving out turkeys that day. Then we're going to go back to the firehouse, and we're going to have food for everybody. It's going to be a community celebration. Then the 27th and the 28th, we had the Basketball Results Fieldhouse. I got 5th through 8th graders. We're gonna have like a middle school jamboree. So that's what's really coming up next for the brand with Bolden Mack. The store is live. We got some new pieces coming in. Black Friday, we're gonna be live. The website should be up soon. And just stay tuned. We got some more things coming that I don't want to speak about. I just want to roll out.
Let it manifest. So let me see if I could speak for you a little bit. All my new business owners that are coming into Amityville, starting in North Amityville, coming off of Southern State Parkway, Route 110, the beginning of Broadway, all my Starbucks, my local Allstate agents that's there, the real estate agent, the mortgage people. You're in Amityville. I want you to really be a part of the community. I want you to reach out to Bolden Mack, or when he reaches out to you, I just want you to ask one question: what can you give to support? He's going to do the legwork. You reach in and support, and as a result, the community will get to know you, and your business will be blessed for being a blessing to this young man. I'm Kevin Spann, the insurance guru. This is Andrew. Drew, say your last name.
Andrew Ayodeji, man. Mr.
Ayodeji.
Spann, I appreciate you having me again. 233 Broadway. Y'all come check out the Mack Store. And y'all tap in, man. Long Island got the Mack.
Hey, Drew, tell them people on the live to follow me, too. Tell them to follow Kevin Spann at the Insurance Guru, _Insurance Guru online. Tell them to holler at me.
Yeah, follow Kevin Spann, man, _Insurance Guru online, man. I'm about to start tapping in with him, too, because I'm interested in the real estate and insurance. So y'all tap in, man. He going to give out the information to the people, so y'all make sure y'all tap in with him.
No question at all. And I can't close on that note. If you're interested in insurance, real estate, finance, any part of that business, I'm desperately looking for young people that want these type of careers that live in every community. But we don't always have good representation of people that follow the steps to get the licenses, to do the job, and to have these careers. So who better to do it than you? Somebody that knows somebody, or somebody that's like you already. These certain things, wherever you travel, it's the same businesses in every community. And Magic Johnson, legendary basketball player Magic Johnson, who now owns many franchises, or Shaq on LinkedIn, his description is CEO of many businesses. What they saw from their NBA travels with the same 30 businesses in every community, but we don't necessarily take the time to get the licenses to work there. So that appeals to everybody out there. If you want to do it, talk to me. If I don't do it, I will direct you to somebody you can. Come on in and replace us. We getting older. All right?
Absolutely.
Peace.
Mr. Spann, I appreciate it.